After a few years in the dark and several delays, the wait for Cyberpunk 2077 is finally over. With its arrival comes 44 achievements on Xbox and 45 trophies on PlayStation. While the overall list isn't too terribly difficult to manage, many are story-related, require long-form checklists, or take a bit of effort to accomplish. However, there are plenty that are much simpler to get. Some of these are missable, and others may actually be easier than they initially appear. It is important to note that I've tried to be as spoiler-free as possible, but there will be some mild spoilers within the video. Nothing too major though. So without further ado, here are 13 easy trophies and achievements for Cyberpunk 2077. Right back at you. Kill or incapacitate an enemy who threw a grenade at you. This is likely going to be one of the first trophies or achievements that you earn. All you'll have to do is find an enemy armed with a grenade and kill them shortly after they've thrown a grenade, but before the grenade detonates, though there may be a bit more wiggle room there. At lower levels, you'll want to whittle their health down and then wait for them to toss a grenade before finishing them off. If you need to, take out every enemy except for those that are chucking grenades to make things easier. At later levels, this will come quite effortlessly. To get this much easier early on, you can also earn it in the first level you play as Johnny when nearing the elevator, as an enemy there should always have a grenade, and Johnny's gun packs quite a punch. Stanislavski's method. Use a dialogue option related to V's life path 10 times. There are plenty of opportunities to use dialogue options, but they are technically limited, so in order to make sure you get this one, it's just good to be conscious about it. I would suggest just being sure you select it every time it comes up as a blue option, as those don't drive the conversation forward and don't have a lot of consequences for selecting them. Or if you'd like, you could do as I did and just select it every time it comes up, which will get you this decently early on. I haven't played more than just one life path through yet, so I don't know if the path you choose affects these frequencies. Gunslinger. Shoot an enemy grenade in midair with a revolver. If you've got a quick trigger finger, this can be done as soon as you get a revolver. If you're not as quick on the draw, don't fret. You'll want to get an implant to slow down time at your local Ripper dock. There are a couple that'll do the trick. I personally found the Korenzikov, I'm probably butchering that, which is a nervous system implant first, so I used that one for the purpose of this video. Either way you want to do it, all you need to do is wait until you encounter an enemy that is throwing a grenade, and then take everyone out except for them. Then you'll need to go a medium distance away, and bait them into throwing a grenade. You'll hear the pin being pulled, giving you plenty of a notice to prepare to take the shot and slow down time if you need it. Gunfu. Kill or incapacitate 3 enemies in quick succession with a revolver or pistol in close combat. This one can seem a bit more challenging than it is. You'll need to kill 3 people within 3.5 seconds while you're in close proximity to them. Proximity will be the toughest part. You can do this with V in the mid to later portions of the game pretty easily if you have a good handgun and you've been leveling your handgun skills. Simply wait until you're fighting in a close quarters situation and rush them when they're grouped up. If you're having a hard time doing this with V, however, you can get this easier in any of Johnny's segments, as his pistol can kill multiple enemies with a single shot. Particularly, the second mission as Johnny has plenty of great opportunities throughout the level. But it's easy to pull off in the first combat encounter of this mission, which is conveniently and immediately after a checkpoint, so it's easy to reload and try again if you mess up. Simply head into the bar and take out 2 to 3 enemies, and then reinforcements will rush the stairs. Run over and meet them in the doorway and it'll be easy pickings. It is a highly replicable spot as the reinforcements are scripted and they don't have a ton of room to move around, making this an ideal location to grab this one. Must be rats. Perform the distract enemies quick hack 30 times without drawing attention to yourself. The next item on our list simply requires you to distract and take out an enemy. No need to hide the body. If no one sees you do it, you're fine and it'll count. This is particularly easy as the distract enemies quick hack is one of the first you'll get. It's very useful and it doesn't take much RAM to initiate. So if you're playing a stealth build, you'll likely get this very quickly. But if stealth isn't really your style, Just be aware of it and do it when you see the opportunity arise. If the latter is the case, I would recommend to try and get one each encounter before you go in guns blazing, just so you can make steady progress towards this quickly. 2 heads, 1 bullet. Kill or incapacitate 2 enemies with the same sniper rifle shot. This can be done as soon as you have a sniper rifle powerful enough for the job, which most are. This can be done easily at any of the open world crime activities. Often in these open world events, enemies will just be standing around in a group. They won't move around much until you engage them, making it quite easy to line up a shot. There is an abundance of these activities, so you should have plenty of opportunities to pull this one off easily. Full body conversion. Install at least 1 implant in each system or body part. This item on our list simply requires you to install an implant in each system or body part. You don't have to worry about getting every slot filled, 1 in each area will be enough. This is mostly just a matter of when, as some implants can be costly and some have certain street cred level requirements as well. You definitely shouldn't ignore implants due to either barrier though, as some can be quite useful and fun. That said, you should seek out opportunities to score free implants when you can. Some of the earlier missions will get you some for free, and there are free upgrades to occasionally be found out in the open world as well. For example, you can score a legendary monowire before you even visit a Ripper Dock. In the beginning of the game, after Jackie has borrowed your wheels, head to this location in Kabuki, instead of going straight for the Ripper Dock. The enemies there will be too strong for now, so cause a distraction and lure them to the front gate. Then run up the road, hop onto the rooftops, and go to this garage storage for the monowire. If you're having a hard time finding an implant, try visiting another Ripper Dock, as their stocks may vary. Victor, for instance, didn't have any immune system implants for me. I just had to find another Ripper Dock. True Soldier and True Warrior. Kill or incapacitate 100 enemies with melee and 300 with guns. These two are pretty straightforward. While the number of enemies in the game are technically limited, there is more than enough to make these two fairly unmissable. You'd have to neglect either melee or ranged weapons pretty badly to miss either of these. If you're having a hard time with either, try changing up what weapons you're using. For example, I didn't use melee terribly often until I acquired the Mantis Blades. The Wandering Fool. Find all Tarot graffiti for the job Fool on the Hill. This one is as simple as opening your map, applying the open world filter, and seeking out each tarot card icon. All you'll need to do is scan or otherwise interact with each tarot graffiti location, so there isn't much to it. They're all pretty easy to find once you're in the right location. If you're having trouble finding any, remember that Cyberpunk 2077's map can be very vertical at times, so it could be above you or below you. This quest will trigger automatically as the story progresses early on. When it does, V will find a tarot graffiti outside of his front door. He will then talk to Misty or Vic, and then the remaining cards will be marked on your map. Breathtaking. Collect all items that once belonged to Johnny Silverhand. This one is fairly simple to get if you know all the right steps, but those steps for a few of the items required for it can easily be accidentally missed. 2 items must be found through gigs in the open world, while others can be found in main and side quests. We'll start with the 2 found in gigs. If either of these don't appear on your map, you may need to increase your street cred or complete some police scanner activities for them to become available. First is Johnny's Pants. Found in the Psycho Fan gig in Haywood, it can be found in a suitcase in the apartment's bedroom. Just be sure to grab it before leaving and you'll be fine. There's no going back once you leave. Second is Johnny's Shoes, found in the family heirloom gig in the Westbrook area. For this, you'll at least have to have done Rogue's Ghost Town story mission. Once you do, the gig will be active. However, the shoes will be hard to miss as they're in the same container as the bootleg shard required for the gig's completion. Johnny's shirt will automatically be rewarded to you in the Tapeworm main quest. Johnny's Jacket, Gun, aviators, and car can all be found in the Chippin' In side quest. This quest can be missed if you don't agree to help out Johnny, and it can be found in the later portion of the game, after the tapeworm main quest. The aviators will automatically be rewarded to you, and the jacket will be given to you right at the start of the quest. The gun can be found later on when meeting Grayson, and you'll get it no matter what. Once you've met Grayson, you'll need to agree to his deal or loot his corpse to access Johnny's car, which can be found in a shipping container that you'll need to lower to the ground.
Take that rag off it.
Bushido and Chill. Watch Bushido X with Rogue. As to not spoil much, this is simply a side quest that'll unlock after the completion of Chippin' In. Legend of the Afterlife. Reach max street cred. Street cred will max out at 50. Most of the things you do in the game will net you street cred. You won't have to complete anywhere near the available amount of gigs, quests, and other events to max this out.
Never really gave it a thought. Funny how you still manage to surprise me sometimes.